The night was quiet in the small town of Pine Valley when a bright light flashed across the sky. Rose Miller, a veterinarian who lived alone in her countryside house, watched through her window as something crashed into the forest behind her property. Most people would have called the police or run away, but Rose had always been different. Her curiosity was stronger than her fear. She grabbed her first aid kit, flashlight, and warm jacket before heading out into the cold night air. The forest was dark and mysterious, but the trail of broken trees made it easy to follow the crash site. What she found there changed her life forever. In a small crater lay a creature unlike anything Rose had ever seen. It looked almost like a mix between a wolf and a human, with silvery fur and a muscular body. But what caught her attention most were its eyes, deep purple and filled with intelligence. The creature was hurt, with a nasty wound on its side, probably from the crash. Being a vet, Rose's first instinct was to help. She slowly approached the alien being, showing her empty hands to prove she meant no harm. The creature growled at first but then whimpered in pain. It was clearly scared and injured, just like any other animal she had treated. "It's okay," she said softly. "I'm here to help you." To her surprise, the creature's ears perked up at her voice, as if it understood her. Rose took out her medical supplies and began treating the wound. The alien's blood was blue, but the cut wasn't too deep. As she worked, she noticed something else, a broken device on the ground that looked like some kind of translator. The creature kept looking at it and making frustrated sounds. While bandaging the wound, Rose talked quietly about her life, her work, and her love for animals. The alien seemed to calm down, its purple eyes watching her every move with growing interest. When she finished, the creature did something unexpected. It reached out and touched her hand gently. That night, Rose made a decision that would change everything. She couldn't leave this intelligent being out in the cold. "You need a safe place to heal," she told the creature. "Would you like to come home with me?" The alien tilted its head, considering her offer. After a moment, it nodded, a very human-like gesture that confirmed Rose's suspicion about its intelligence. She helped the creature stand, supporting its weight as they slowly made their way back to her house. At home, Rose set up a comfortable bed in her spare room. The alien was careful and polite, though clearly confused by many human objects. It was fascinating to watch as the creature examined everything with curious eyes, from the light switches to the soft blankets. Rose named him Star, because of how he fell from the sky. Over the next few days, she noticed something strange. Star was getting smaller. The huge, wolf-like creature was slowly shrinking to the size of a large dog. She wondered if this was normal for his species or if something was wrong. Star tried to communicate through gestures and drawings. From what Rose could understand, he was some kind of space explorer who got caught in Earth's gravity while studying the planet. His ship was destroyed in the crash, and the change in his size had something to do with Earth's atmosphere affecting his biology. One morning, about a week after the crash, Rose woke up to find Star sitting by her bed, holding the broken translator in his smaller paws. He had managed to fix part of it. The device crackled and spoke in a robotic voice, "Thank you, kind human, saved me." Rose smiled, reaching out to pat his head. "You're welcome, Star. You can stay as long as you need." What she didn't know then was that Star's presence would soon attract attention, both from Earth and beyond. Their peaceful life together was about to become much more complicated, as others learned about the alien living as a house pet in Pine Valley. But for now, Rose was happy with her unusual new friend. Star might look like a pet to others, but she knew he was much more, an intelligent being from another world who chose to trust her. As she watched him curiously exploring her garden that morning, she wondered what adventures awaited them both. Little did Rose know, this was just the beginning of a story that would test the boundaries between different species, challenge what it means to be family, and show that sometimes the strongest bonds can form between the most unlikely companions. 2 weeks had passed since Star crashed into Rose's life. The alien had fully adjusted to his smaller size, now looking like a beautiful silver-furred husky with unusual purple eyes. Life had fallen into a comfortable routine until one morning changed everything. Rose was making breakfast when she heard Star growling at the window. Outside, a black van was parked at the end of her driveway. 2 men in dark suits were walking toward her house. They didn't look like regular government agents, there was something different about them. "Quick, Star, hide upstairs," Rose whispered. The alien understood immediately, silently padding up to the second floor. Just as he disappeared, there was a knock at the door. Rose opened it, trying to appear calm. "Can I help you?" The taller man smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Miss Miller? I'm Agent Black, and this is Agent White. We're from a special division investigating unusual events in this area. May we come in?" Rose's heart beat faster, but she kept her voice steady. "What kind of unusual events?" 2 weeks ago, several people reported seeing lights in the sky, Agent White said. "Our equipment detected an energy signature we've never seen before. Right here, in these woods." Before Rose could answer, there was a crash from upstairs. Star had knocked something over. The agent's head snapped toward the sound. "Just my dog," Rose said quickly. "He's clumsy sometimes." Agent Black's eyes narrowed. "Interesting. Our records show you don't own any pets despite being a veterinarian. When did you get this dog?" Rose thought fast. 2 weeks ago. A rescue. He was in bad shape when I found him. "We'd like to see this dog," Agent White said. It wasn't a request. Just then, Star appeared at the top of the stairs. Rose's breath caught in her throat. But Star had done something amazing. He had somehow made his purple eyes look normal blue, and his silver fur appeared more gray, like a regular husky. The agent studied Star as he calmly walked down the stairs. He acted perfectly like a normal dog, even wagging his tail and sniffing their shoes. Rose couldn't believe how well he was playing the part. "Beautiful dog," Agent Black said, but his tone was suspicious. "Mind if we look around? Do you have a warrant?" Rose asked, finding her courage. The agents exchanged looks. "We can get one," Agent White said. "But that would make things official. More complicated. For everyone." Star moved to stand beside Rose, pressing against her leg protectively. She placed her hand on his head, drawing strength from his presence. "I know my rights," Rose said firmly. "Without a warrant, this conversation is over. Please leave my property." The agents didn't move at first. Agent Black pulled out a business card and placed it on the table. "When your dog does something unusual, and he will, call us. It'll be better for you if we hear it from you first." After they left, Rose sank to the floor, shaking. Star nuzzled her face, his eyes changing back to their natural purple. The translator device crackled. "You protected me." "Of course I did," Rose said, hugging him. "But they'll be back. We need to be more careful." That evening, Star showed Rose something extraordinary. Using the partially repaired translator, he explained that his species, called the Star Wanderers, had been watching Earth for centuries. They were peaceful explorers who could change their shape to blend in with local life forms. But Star was young and had crashed during his first solo mission. The translator sparked, "Others will come. Looking for me. Not all friendly." Rose listened as Star explained that some beings out there wanted to use Earth as a colony. His people had been protecting Earth secretly, but now that he was stranded here, others might find out about this hidden paradise. "Why don't your people just talk to humans openly?" Rose asked. Star's answer was surprising. "Humans, not ready. Too much fear. Too many weapons. Need more time," to grow. Rose understood. Humans often feared what they didn't understand. She thought about how most people would react to meeting Star in his original form, with panic and violence. That night, Rose couldn't sleep. She sat in her garden, watching the stars with new eyes. Star lay beside her, his silver fur glowing softly in the moonlight. She had become part of something bigger than herself, a secret guardian of Earth alongside this remarkable being who chose to look like a dog to stay safe. The next morning, Rose made some changes. She got Star a collar with tags, created fake vet records, and started taking him on walks around town. The more people who saw him acting like a regular dog, the safer they would be. Star seemed to enjoy playing his role, especially when children wanted to pet him. But they both knew the agents would return. And they weren't the only ones watching. Sometimes at night, Star would stare at the sky with his ears perked, as if hearing something Rose couldn't. He was picking up signals from space, messages that made him both hopeful and worried. They needed a plan. If Star's people came to rescue him, Rose would lose her new friend. If hostile aliens found him first, Earth could be in danger. And if the mysterious agents discovered what Star really was, they would both be in trouble. For now, though, they had each other. Rose worked at her vet clinic, and Star stayed home, learning everything he could about Earth through the television and internet. He was fascinated by human culture, especially their music and art. Sometimes Rose would find him sitting in front of her piano, trying to understand how it worked. The translator was getting better too. Star had been repairing it slowly, and now he could speak in longer sentences. One night, he told her, "My people believe, best way to understand others is to live as they do. Learning much about humans, through you." Rose smiled, scratching behind his ears just like she would with a real dog. Star leaned into her touch, proving that even an advanced alien could enjoy simple pleasures. But their peaceful days were numbered. Soon they would face choices that would test their loyalty, courage, and the unique bond between a human and her alien companion who chose to be her puppy. A month had passed since the agent's visit. Rose was at her veterinary clinic, finishing up with a patient's cat, when her phone buzzed. It was a text from her neighbor Tom, "Men in black van checking your house again. Star is in backyard." Rose's heart jumped. She quickly told her assistant she had an emergency and rushed home. As she drove, she remembered the safety plan she and Star had created. If anyone suspicious came, Star would hide in the secret basement room they had prepared, accessible through a hidden door in the garden shed. When she pulled into her driveway, the black van was gone, but she could feel something was wrong. The garden gate was slightly open, and there were fresh footprints in her flower beds. "Star," she called out softly as she entered the backyard. No response. Rose tried to stay calm as she walked to the garden shed. Inside, she found muddy boot prints. Someone had been searching here. She quickly pressed the hidden switch behind the old shelving unit, and the false wall slid open. Star was there, safe, but he wasn't alone. Next to him sat another creature, similar in appearance but with golden fur. The translator crackled to life. "Rose, meet Ray. My sister." Rose stared in surprise. The golden-furred alien bowed her head respectfully. Star explained through the translator, "Ray, followed my distress signal. Took long time, to find safe way here. The agents almost found us," Ray's translator spoke. "They have detection devices. Can sense our energy." Rose sat down on an old garden chair, trying to process this new development. "Are they still watching the house?" Star's ears perked up, listening to something beyond human hearing. "Two watchers, in trees. Half-mile away. More coming. We need to leave," Ray's translator crackled. "Not safe here. They track my landing." But Star moved closer to Rose, pressing against her leg. Cannot leave Rose alone. They will question her. Ray's golden fur bristled. Humans not ready for truth. Must protect, mission. Rose watched the two aliens, noting how Ray was slightly larger than Star, probably not affected by Earth's atmosphere yet. She had an idea. What if we don't run? Rose said. What if we give them exactly what they expect to see? Both aliens tilted their heads, curious. Rose explained her plan. It was risky, but it might be their only chance to throw off suspicion. An hour later, Rose was walking both Star and Ray down the main street of Pine Valley. She had helped Ray adjust her appearance to look like a golden retriever, complete with a collar and leash. They passed by several neighbors who waved and commented on her new dog. Right on schedule, the black van appeared. Agents Black and White stepped out, watching them. Rose pretended not to notice, continuing her walk while chatting with Mrs. Green from the bakery about her two rescue dogs. The agents approached. Miss Miller, Agent Black said. I see you've acquired another dog. Rose smiled brightly. Yes. This is Luna. Star was so lonely, I thought he needed a friend. Would you like to pet them? They're very friendly. The agents looked confused. Their detection devices were probably going crazy, but all they could see were two well-behaved dogs playing their parts perfectly. Star even rolled over for a belly rub, making nearby children laugh. Our instruments must be malfunctioning, Agent White muttered to his partner. The energy readings make no sense. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one, Rose said innocently. They're just dogs who needed a home. Would you like to see their adoption papers? I have them at the clinic. The agents declined, looking frustrated. As they walked away, Rose heard Agent Black say, we need to recalibrate everything. This is a waste of time. That evening, safe in the basement room, Ray's translator spoke, clever human. Understanding, deception through truth. The best hiding place is in plain sight, Rose explained. No one questions what they think they understand. Star added, Rose teaches, important lesson. Humans have wisdom too. But their victory was short-lived. Ray's translator crackled with urgent news, others coming. Bad ones. Detected, my ship's energy trail. The hunters, Star's device translated, his purple eyes showing fear. They search, for our worlds. Must not, find Earth. Rose felt a chill. Who are the hunters? The answer came from both translators, creating an eerie echo, those who destroy, what they cannot control. Ray's next words changed everything, 2 days. Must prepare, for their arrival. Rose looked at her two alien companions, now both disguised as dogs but carrying the fate of Earth on their shoulders. Then we have 2 days to make a plan. What do you need me to do? Star pressed his head against her hand, the translator conveying his words, need you, to be human. Your kind strength, is seeing simple answers, to complex problems. Ray nodded in agreement, hunters expect, advanced defense. Not, dog walker with kind heart. Rose smiled, scratching both their ears. To anyone watching through her windows, it would look like a normal evening with her pets. But in reality, they were planning how to save the world with nothing but human ingenuity and alien technology disguised as ordinary things. As night fell, Rose could have sworn she saw new lights in the sky, different from stars or satellites. The hunters were coming, but they didn't know they were about to face something they'd never encountered before, the combined cleverness of human and star wanderer minds, hidden behind the simple disguise of a woman and her dogs. Star and Ray spent the night teaching Rose about their technology, while she shared ideas that only a human would think of. Sometimes the best solutions weren't the most advanced ones, sometimes they were just the most unexpected. The next morning dawned bright and clear, but Rose couldn't enjoy the sunshine. They had just one day left before the hunters would arrive. She sat at her kitchen table, watching Star and Ray work on something using parts from their crashed ships. "What exactly are we up against?" Rose asked, sipping her coffee. The translators crackled as both aliens spoke together. "Hunters use big ships. 5 warriors, usually. They track energy signals." Star added, "They think Earth primitive. Not worth talking to." "Their mistake," Rose said firmly. She spread out a map of Pine Valley on the table. "Tell me more about their technology. What are their weaknesses?" Ray's golden fur shimmered as she moved closer to the map. Her translator sparked. "Hunters rely too much on advanced tech. Expect same from enemies." Star nodded, his purple eyes glowing with excitement. "Like agents, they only see what they expect." Rose smiled as a plan began forming in her mind. "Then let's give them something they'd never expect. How well can you two control your transformations now?" The answer came when both Star and Ray suddenly shifted their appearances. Instead of looking like a husky and a golden retriever, they now appeared to be regular stray cats. A moment later, they changed back to their dog forms. "Perfect," Rose said. "We can use that. Now, about their ships, will they land or hover?" "Must land," Ray's translator crackled. "Earth gravity, different. Ships need adjustment time." Rose circled several spots on the map. "These are all the large clearings where they might land. The old Miller farm has the most space, and it's far from town. If we could lure them there." Star's ears perked up. His translator sparked. "Can use broken translator parts. Create energy signal. Make them think it's spacecraft." They spent the morning setting their trap. Rose drove them to the old farm, where Star and Ray buried pieces of their broken technology in specific patterns. These would create energy readings that would attract the hunters' attention. Back at home, they worked on the second part of their plan. Rose's veterinary knowledge proved unexpectedly useful as they discussed anatomy and biological weaknesses that might affect the hunters. "All beings need to breathe," Ray's translator noted. "Hunters use air filters. Very proud of technology. What if their filters got clogged?" Rose wondered aloud. "Not with anything dangerous, just something really annoying." She went to her garden and returned with several plants. "These are catnip and a few other herbs. Totally harmless, but the pollen is incredibly fine and sticky. If we could get this into their air systems." Star's tail wagged as his translator spoke. "Simple, but clever. Hunters never think of plants." They prepared sachets of the herbs and worked out how to deploy them. Rose also called in some help. She contacted the local animal shelter where she volunteered. "Betty? I need a favor. Could you bring all the friendly strays to the old Miller farm tomorrow?" "Yes, every single one. I'm doing a special adoption event." Rose's plan was coming together. The hunters would be looking for advanced technology and powerful weapons. Instead, they would find a simple human running what looked like a pet adoption event, surrounded by dozens of regular Earth animals. That evening, they did one final check of their preparations. The energy signal at the farm was working perfectly. It would appear to be a damaged spacecraft sending out a distress call. The herbs were ready. The animal shelter would bring the strays in the morning. As they sat in Rose's living room, Star's translator suddenly spoke. "Rose, thank you. Protecting not just me, but whole planet." Ray nodded in agreement. Never seen human and Star Wanderer work together before. Making history. "Well, someone had to adopt you troublesome space puppies," Rose joked, but her eyes were serious. "Earth is your home too now, at least for Star. We protect our own. That night, none of them could sleep. They watched the sky through Rose's telescope, tracking the faint movements of what had to be the hunter's ship entering Earth's atmosphere. Remember, Rose told her alien friends, tomorrow you're just two of many dogs at an adoption event. No matter what happens, stay in character. The hunters are looking for advanced beings, not pets. Star pressed against her leg, his translator crackling, trust Earth animals, to help. They sense what we are. We'll play along. Ray added, simple plan, best plan. Hunters overthink everything. As the sun began to rise, Rose got dressed in her most cheerful outfit, bright colors, a name tag that said, Pet Adoption Event Coordinator, and a fanny pack full of dog treats. She looked exactly like someone who spent their life helping animals find homes. Star and Ray took their positions among the pet beds and toys she had set up in her van. To anyone looking, they were just two more rescue dogs hoping for a forever home. The translators spoke one last time before they left, hunters arrive, in 3 hours. Rose checked her watch and nodded. Then let's go set up the most unusual adoption event Pine Valley has ever seen. The hunters stopped, clearly confused by her greeting. The tallest one stepped forward, their helmet translating their words into a mechanical-sounding English. We detect advanced technology in this area. Stand aside, Earth Dweller. Rose blinked innocently. Advanced technology? Oh. Do you mean the microchips? All our rescue pets are microchipped for safety. Would you like to see how the scanner works? The hunters looked at each other. Their scanners were going crazy, picking up the energy signatures from the buried spacecraft parts, but all they could see was a field full of Earth pets and one cheerful human woman. Our readings indicate alien presence, another hunter said, moving their scanner in wide arcs. You will step aside or be removed. Rose put her hands on her hips. Now see here, I have an adoption event to run. If you're not here to give a pet a loving home, you'll have to come back another day. We're very busy. The animals, sensing their cue, sprang into action. The cat started rubbing against the hunter's legs, purring loudly. The dogs bounded up to them, tails wagging, some jumping up to try to lick their helmets. Star and Ray led the friendly assault, acting like the most enthusiastic dogs of the bunch. What is this? One hunter demanded, trying to shake off a particularly affectionate cat. Our scanners cannot function with these creatures interfering. Rose clapped her hands. Oh, they like you. That's wonderful. You know, studies show that having a pet reduces stress and increases happiness. Would you like to adopt? I have all the paperwork right here. The hunters tried to move toward their ship's energy readings, but the animals kept getting in their way. Every time they tried to use their scanners, a dog would bump their hands or a cat would leap onto their shoulders. These beings are displaying unusual behavior, one hunter said, suspicious at last. Oh no, this is totally normal, Rose assured them, pulling out her phone. Look, I have videos of last week's adoption event. Earth pets are just naturally friendly. Here, have some treats to give them. Before they could refuse, Rose was pressing dog treats into their armored hands. The animals became even more excited, jumping and pawing at the hunters. In the chaos, Star and Ray managed to plant the herb sachets near the hunter's helmet filters. The effect was almost immediate. The hunters started sneezing inside their helmets, their sophisticated air filtration systems overwhelmed by the fine, sticky pollen. What is this attack? The lead hunter demanded between sneezes. Attack? It's just pollen season, Rose said helpfully. You know how spring allergies can be. I have some antihistamines in my first aid kit if you need them. The hunters were losing their composure. Their scanners were being knocked about by excited animals, their helmets were filling with pollen, and their target kept talking about adoption paperwork and pet care tips. This is impossible, one hunter said, backing away as 3 cats climbed up their armor. Our intelligence said this was a primitive planet. Rose was now holding a clipboard and pen. So, will you be adopting today? Our adoption fee includes initial vaccinations and a free checkup at my veterinary clinic. Oh, and the morning obedience classes are half off this week. The lead hunter had finally had enough. Between sneezes, they called out, "Retreat. This location is too contaminated for proper scanning. We must. Achoo. Recalibrate everything." The hunters practically ran back to their ship, still sneezing and covered in pet hair, with happy dogs chasing them all the way. As their ship took off, Rose could have sworn she heard one of them say, "No one will believe this report." Once the ship was gone, all the animals started celebrating in their own way, barking, meowing, and running around happily. Star and Ray changed back to their normal dog forms, their translators crackling with laughter. "Simple plan, worked perfectly," Star's translator said. "Hunters never expect defeat by pets." Ray added through her translator, "Earth creatures, amazing allies. Stories of this day will be told long time." Betty from the animal shelter walked up, grinning. "Rose, I don't know what that was all about, but this was the most entertaining adoption event I've ever seen. And guess what? 3 families who came to watch just filled out adoption applications." Rose laughed, hugging Star and Ray. "See? Good things happen when you help others. Even if those others are just some troublesome space puppies who crashed in your backyard." As they cleaned up the event site, Rose thought about how the hunters would report this mission to their superiors. How do you explain being defeated by adoption paperwork and allergies? Sometimes the best defense wasn't fighting at all, it was just being so perfectly normal that no one would believe there was anything strange going on. Star's translator crackled one last time, "Earth now has reputation. Planet of fierce, small animals. No one will invade now." Rose smiled, scratching both her alien friends behind their ears. "Well, every good guard dog needs a human to protect, right?" The sun was setting as they drove home, her van full of happy animals and 2 very special dogs. Rose knew their adventure wasn't over, there would always be more challenges ahead. But for now, they had one using nothing but kindness, creativity, and the power of pets. And somewhere in space, 5 very confused hunters were trying to explain to their leaders why they were covered in fur and couldn't stop sneezing. A week after the adoption event, Rose noticed something odd. Her usually quiet veterinary clinic was suddenly very busy. People were coming from neighboring towns, all of them bringing their pets for checkups. But the strange part was how they looked around, as if searching for something unusual. "The internet is weird," Betty told her during lunch. "Someone posted a video of our adoption event. People are saying there was something special about it, but the video just shows a bunch of friendly pets chasing away some people in weird costumes." Rose tried to stay calm as she watched the video on Betty's phone. Someone had recorded the whole thing from a distance. Thankfully, the quality wasn't great, and most comments were just laughing about how the cosplayers ran away from the dogs. Star and Ray, who were lying under Rose's desk, exchanged knowing looks. Their translators crackled softly, "Fame, dangerous. But maybe, useful too." That afternoon, Agents Black and White returned. This time, they looked less threatening and more confused. "Miss Miller," Agent Black said, "we've been reviewing our investigation. Our superiors are interested in your methods of animal training." Rose blinked innocently. "Methods? Oh, I just give them lots of love and treats. Speaking of which..." She pulled out dog treats and tossed them to Star and Ray, who caught them perfectly. Agent White leaned forward. "Last week's incident. Those weren't just people in costumes, were they?" "I have no idea what you mean," Rose said cheerfully. "We had a very successful adoption event. Would you like to see the paperwork? 5 dogs and 3 cats found forever homes. The agents looked at each other, frustrated. Their instruments still showed strange readings, but all they could see were 2 well-behaved dogs and a smiling vet. What if, Agent Black said carefully, we offered you a job? Training dogs for special operations? Star's ears perked up. Ray's tail wagged slightly. Rose pretended to think about it. That's very flattering, she said, but I'm happy here. My dogs and I have important work to do in our community. After the agents left again, Star's translator sparked, they suspect, but cannot prove. Perfect, confusion. Ray added, other hunters, will hear stories. Earth gets, reputation. Confusing planet, with clever pets. Rose laughed, but then grew serious. Won't your people be worried about all this attention? The answer came through both translators, already planned, this way. Earth learns, slowly. Through pets, first. Safe way. That evening, as Rose watched the sunset from her porch, she noticed more changes. Neighbors walked by with their dogs, waving friendly hellos but looking curiously at Star and Ray. The local paper had run a story about the mystery of the Miller Farm event. Even the town's tourism website mentioned their uniquely friendly local pets. We're becoming a local legend, Rose told her alien friends. Is that okay? Star's translator crackled, legends good, hide truth in plain sight. Humans think, just stories. Ray nodded, her translator adding, building bridge, between worlds. Slowly, safely. The next morning brought another surprise. Rose's phone was full of messages from pet owners across the country, asking if she would share her training secrets. Several TV shows about pets wanted to interview her. What should we do? She asked Star and Ray. We can't exactly go on TV. Star's answer was clever, use fame, protect truth. More attention, less suspicion. They came up with a plan. Rose would write a blog about pet care, focusing on the bond between humans and animals. She would talk about understanding and patience, about seeing pets as family. Everything she wrote would be true, just not the whole truth. The blog became popular quickly. People loved her stories about Star and Ray, thinking they were just well-trained dogs. Rose wrote about how animals understand more than we think, how they can surprise us with their intelligence. Every word was true, just not in the way her readers assumed. One post went viral, why pets are our bridge to understanding. Rose wrote about how animals help humans become better people, how they teach us to look beyond appearances and connect with other beings. The comments were full of people sharing their own pet stories. Building, acceptance, Ray's translator noted. Humans learning, through love of pets. Star added, when real contact happens someday, humans ready. Because, they loved us first. But their growing fame brought new challenges. More people wanted to visit the clinic. TV crews asked to film their special training methods. And somewhere out there, the hunters were surely planning their next move. One night, as they sat in the garden watching the stars, Rose saw something unusual, a pattern of lights moving in a way that couldn't be planes or satellites. Your people? She asked. Ray's translator crackled, watchers, checking on us. Impressed, with human solution. They say. Earth surprising, Star added through his translator. Using pets, to prepare for contact. Never tried, this way before. Rose smiled, scratching both their ears. Sometimes the best path forward is the one that looks most ordinary. No one suspects the pet lover of hiding aliens. But as more lights appeared in the sky, Rose realized their story wasn't over. They had won the first battle using dog treats and pollen, but the real challenge was just beginning. How do you prepare a whole planet for the truth about life among the stars? The answer came to her as she watched a group of children walking by, stopping to pet Star and Ray. Start with love. Start with connection. Start with teaching people to see beyond appearances and accept those different from themselves. We're not just hiding anymore, are we? Rose asked. We're building something new. Both translators crackled in response, building future, one pet at a time. As night fell, Rose updated her blog one last time. Love knows no boundaries. Sometimes the best friends come from the most unexpected places. And sometimes, looking up at the stars, I wonder if somewhere out there, someone is looking back, just waiting to be our friend too. The post got thousands of likes. No one knew she was telling the absolute truth. Jason stood hand in hand with Zara atop the central spire of the alien citadel, gazing out over the sprawling metropolis below. The crystalline towers glittered beneath the twin suns, a testament to the technological marvels of Zara's people. But Jason's thoughts were focused on a different kind of marvel entirely, the bond he had forged with the remarkable alien woman beside him. In the weeks since his daring escape from captivity and their harrowing flight from Zara's vengeful kinsman, Jason had come to see her in a new light. No longer was she the haughty alien overlord who had treated him as a mere pet. Through their trials and tribulations, they had grown to respect and rely on one another, discovering a deep well of mutual understanding and affection. Zara squeezed his hand, her violet eyes shining with emotion. Jason, I never thought I would say this to a human, but you have shown me the true meaning of courage, compassion, and equality. You've opened my eyes to the folly of my people's arrogance and the limitless potential that lies in cooperation between our kinds. Jason smiled softly, his heart swelling with warmth. And you, Zara, have taught me that strength comes in many forms. Your brilliance, your determination, your capacity for change, they are a reminder that greatness knows no species. If we can learn to see each other as equals, there's no telling what we might achieve together. A chime from Jason's wrist communicator interrupted the moment. Cass's voice rang out, crisp and clear. Captain, I've established a connection with Earth. The Global Council is standing by for your report. Jason took a deep breath, steeling himself. This was the moment of truth, the culmination of all he had worked towards. With Zara's knowledge and technology, he could set humanity on a path to the stars, to a future of wonder and exploration beyond their wildest dreams. But it would mean asking her to share her people's most closely guarded secrets with a civilization they had every reason to mistrust. He turned to face her, his expression serious. Zara, I know what I'm about to ask of you is no small thing. Your people's technology could change the course of human history, for good or for ill. But I believe in my heart that this is the right path forward, for both our kinds. Will you stand with me in this? Will you help me forge a new era of unity and discovery? Zara was silent for a long moment, her gaze distant. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft but resolute. Jason, I have seen the best and worst of your species through your eyes. I know that humans are capable of great destruction, but also of boundless compassion and ingenuity. If there is anyone I trust to wield our knowledge wisely, it is you. I will stand with you, now and always. Let us build a bridge between the stars, together. Jason felt a lump form in his throat, humbled by her faith in him. He raised his wrist, speaking into the communicator. Cass. Patch me through. The tiny holographic figures of the Global Council shimmered into view, their expressions expectant. Jason squared his shoulders, feeling the weight of the moment settling upon him. Counselors, I come to you today with tidings of great import. In my travels, I have encountered an alien civilization of immense advancement, one whose technology could propel humanity to heights we have scarcely imagined. But more than that, I have found an ally, a partner, in the form of Ambassador Zara, who stands ready to share her people's knowledge with us freely. In exchange, she asks only that we treat this gift with wisdom and that we strive always to cooperate as equals. I believe this is an opportunity we cannot afford to squander. With the Council's blessing, I propose the formation of a new intergalactic alliance, one founded on the principles of mutual respect, open exchange, and the belief that our strength lies in our diversity. Together, humans and Zorans can chart a course to a brighter tomorrow, unlocking the secrets of the universe hand in hand. The choice lies before us. Will we cling to our old divisions, our petty rivalries, or will we rise to the challenge of this moment and seize the chance to become something greater? I know where I stand. I only ask that you stand with me. As he finished speaking, Jason felt Zara's hand slip into his once more, her presence a silent affirmation of their shared resolve. For a long, tense moment, the council members were silent, their gazes inscrutable. Then, one by one, they began to nod, their faces breaking into smiles of cautious optimism. The oldest among them, a woman with wise, piercing eyes, stepped forward. Captain Starborn, Ambassador Zara, the Council has heard your words and found them good. We hereby authorize the formation of the Intergalactic Alliance, with you as its vanguard. May your partnership light the way to a future of unity and discovery for all our peoples. Tears of joy and relief sprang to Jason's eyes as the weight of their decision sank in. He turned to Zara, finding her own face awash with emotion. In that instant, he knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them side by side, bound by a love that transcended species and space alike. Hand in hand, they turned to face the shining expanse of the city below, their hearts filled with hope for the future they would build together. The age of division was over. The age of the alliance had begun. As the twin suns dipped towards the horizon, painting the sky in shades of lavender and gold, Jason marveled at the twists of fate that had brought him to this moment. Once a lone explorer, drifting among the stars, now he stood at the center of a movement that would reshape the galaxy. And all because he had dared to reach out to the unknown, to open his heart to the possibility of connection across the vast gulfs of space.